Hello, everybody, and welcome to our live Our Time, Our Legacy 2023 convention preview show. I am Chris Stehle, Chair of Marketing and Communications for MoShape. I'm so happy you can join us. First and foremost, if you have any comments or would like to give any shout outs to any of our guests, make sure you get onto our YouTube live stream and comment on there so we could see the comments, and we'll make sure we bring in your comments and share them with our special guest. We have a great lineup tonight featuring Guy Danhoff, our current president of MoShape, Julie Lukenhoff, our vice president of MoShape, our president-elect. We have Dr. Brandy Lynch, one of our board members. We have Abigail Lingle, another one of our board members, as she is our future professionals president. And we also have another very special guest who I don't want to give it away quite yet because Guy Danhoff and I are going to bring her on. And speaking of, our first guest is going to be our president, Guy Danhoff. Guy, how are you doing this evening?
You know what? I'm doing pretty awesome. I mean, we're just literally less than a week away. And Chris, if you recall just how fun it has been since we've been working together, now going on our 6th convention together. But this one's going to be really amazing. And part of that reason is simply because not only is it Doc Lowry's last convention ever as our executive director, but also there's so many new things that we have done this year that's really going to make it very exciting for all our members. And I can say maybe the most exciting news, I have to thank our planning team, which you'll have Julie on to talk about it, is we already have exceeded last year's numbers already registered now. And so for us to be that ahead right now is just so exciting. And I just got a few more things to share because we got a lot of really cool things planned for this year's convention.
That's awesome, guys. So, we're just a few days away. A lot of board members and a lot of members come down actually on Thursday. We have our board meeting on Thursday, and it's one of 2 more board meetings that you're kind of leading. A Sunday's board meeting, that's when we kind of Julie takes over. But as your final board meeting approaches as our president, more of a celebratory board meeting, right? As we Thursday night. So just share some of things that you want to share with our audience that you feel like have been really successful during your presidency leading up to the convention.
Well, Chris, I think first and foremost, you have to look at, we now know that, MoShape's no longer a convention only organization. We're not. We do things year round, as because you're obviously involved in all of it, being part of our marketing communications. I mean, we had such a strong presence at Speak Out Day this past year. It was me, Julie, Brandy, Abby, and the 4 of us. I mean, we got a chance we had 5 meetings. They were all very productive. And that was kind of a big deal. We also went to Leadership Summit by Shape America. That was also very fruitful, as it's been helping us as leaders. When you ask me what else have we done, I think one of the biggest things, and you'll hear more about this at the convention, but is what we've been doing with some of the what I call the business side of things, like the bylaws and certainly the code, our operating codes. So there's been a lot of people that have pitched in to help with that. And that's kind of exciting. And then also, of course, a lot of us had the opportunity to speak at Shape Seattle. And of course, I'm real excited to announce that we just got a session accepted, and it's going to be done by our planning committee. I think everyone's going to be able to go, including you. And it's going to be really exciting because we're going to get a chance to talk about, what we've done to plan for our state convention. I'm not saying that, we do it the best or anything like that. What I will say, though, is I think we do some things that are very unique to other states. I will also shout out to other states. So I just want to say thank you to some of those states because we've called to you and we've asked you for some help. And it certainly has impacted what's going to happen coming this weekend on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Yeah, Guy, and it's been a very successful year. You've shifted roles from a board member and then director of digital media and promotions, and now as the president-elect and now president. And what are you looking forward to most with the convention? Without giving away too much, spoilers. We've got a lot of new things, but if you could pick maybe your top 3 things that you're really looking forward to, what would they be?
Well, obviously, you got to start with the keynotes, right? We've never had 2 keynotes before, right? And I'm not giving any secret here. I mean, we've been publicizing it. We have Dr. Kim Ballard, certainly the past president from Shape America. She'll be Friday night. On Saturday, we're very blessed to have all the way from Shape America. CEO Stephanie Morse is going to be here. As you know, Chris, she's had such a huge impact on our state ever since she came. She was, here back in 2018, and now she's back, and I can't wait to hear and see her. Also, when we talk about our national open trainers, I'm really excited that we're going to have, Tom Gilardi out in New York. He's elementary teacher of the year from last year. And I got to tell you, that guy's been on Today Show, Good Morning America. I mean, he has really been such a great brand ambassador for what we do on the front lines in our profession. So I'm so excited to have Tom Gilardi here. And then, Chris, you might find this surprising. Another thing I'm really excited about is all the first time presenters. So if you're a first time presenter, I just want to say thank you so much for maybe getting out of your comfort zone or whatever the motivation may be. But we're really excited to have you present at our conference for the very first time. And then last but not least, I don't know, I just love to hear from our teachers of the year. I always know that they do such a phenomenal job each and every year. And this year's class is again so exciting. And also those that were recently National Teachers of the Year. I know that they're going to be doing some sessions as well. So that's a little bit kind of about what I'm getting excited about.
Yeah, and we're talking about some new things that are happening, and we have something very exciting happening. Guy, we wanted to make sure Dr. Lowry, our executive director, who's retiring after this convention after over 60 years in education, we wanted to do something a little special. So we have something different happening at the banquet this year, and after the banquet, it's really exciting. Guy, I'm going to post a graphic on the screen really quick, and then I'll pull it down, and I want you to kind of explain to the audience what this is, and then we'll bring on one of our special guests here. So, Guy, check it out. All I see is a giant thing that says live Saturday, November 11th, low compatibility, and it has a picture of you as a special guest. All right. So I know we see you on TikTok. We see you do these things. For a lot of people that don't know, you're a very, very talented musician with the guitar. And so kind of explain to us what that is, and go ahead and introduce our special guest.
Well, I will. Let's bring on Leah. She is amazing. She's been a physical education teacher. She's one of our own. There she is, Leah Ingram. She's actually driving back right now. But anyways, Leah is, part of the trio with low compatibility, and they've been together for quite some time. And they just play some great music. And how I got introduced to them was through Sherry Beeler. I guess they performed at her retirement bash, and Christy Berry was there, and all they couldn't stop talking about is how awesome low compatibility is, and also that 2 out of the 3 members are physical education teachers. So with that, Leah, why don't you tell us a little bit more, because I know I'm so excited to have you here for the first time in 98 years. We're going to have live music.
We have been playing together almost 20 years. The keyboard player and I and the drummer are also in a rock band, and our guitar player decided that he didn't know if he was going to stick with us. So we started this side thing, and we've been going strong now for about 10, 12 years. And they invited us to do her party, and we met some of the girls that hollered at us, and I got acquainted with you over the phone, and we're really excited about sharing our talent at convention. So I appreciate the offer, and we're looking forward to it.
So, Leah, tell us a little bit about the kind of music that you all do, because I mean, for some of us who are a little older, all I can tell you is, oh my gosh, I was in high school when these big hits came out.
Right. Well, we do. We're top 40 cover band, and we do a lot of, I would say, 60s to current day music. So every song we play is a hit that everybody will either appreciate or remember. And then we always play to the room too. So if we feel like an 80s tune isn't going to work, we'll go back, dig in the bag, do a 50s or 60s song, country, pop, adult contemporary. We don't play a lot of rock and roll too much with this group, not because we don't want to. It's just the lead guitar player is not there. So that's where you're going to come in on a few songs with us. So we're excited to do that. So
yeah. So Leah, I have to ask, and I'm definitely putting you on the spot, and Chris knows that I would do this. I just have a question for you. When you're like, Doc, Lowry's age, what kind of music is like appropriate for his range? I'm just curious.
I would say anywhere Six
Yeah.
Carole King,
Oh yeah.
Carly Simon, the singer songwriter ballads, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
John Denver, we've got that. We've got Journey, we've got Blondie, we've got Tanya Tucker, just a wide variety of different things. Two girls singers, of course, and we do like Steve Miller Band, and I think everyone's really going to enjoy it. And the girls at the party only got to hear two of us, so with the three of us, it's so much better.
Well, absolutely. You know, I was just being tongue in cheek with Doc Lowry. I mean, he actually goes to the Fox Theater all the time. I mean,
Okay.
he loves music, and that's why I just kind of put you on the spot because he loves a lot of diverse music, and that's one of the things
Sure.
we talk a lot about music, surprisingly, when we're not talking about planning for a convention and fun things like that.
Right. Well, music's one thing everyone can relate to, so it's an easy topic to talk about and share, and it can change your emotion too.
Absolutely.
Good, bad, ugly, whatever. It can change your day. It's all in the way that you look at it.
Well, all I can say is I'm really excited to jump in and be a special guest as I'll be sitting in on the Big Journey Classic Separate Ways. That's one of my favorites. And then also REO Speedwagon, kind of going back, the early hits with Take It on the Run. And those are two big time classics. I just want to say thank you for letting me play. I've been actually playing live ever since July. So it's kind of nice kind of getting back out there, not just, putting out TikToks just for fun.
Sure. Right. Well, we look forward to it. It's going to be a great time. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Leah, I've got two questions for you before we let you go. Number one, obviously, all of us being from Missouri, I've got to ask, since the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift thing has started, have you guys got an increase in Taylor Swift requests? Because that's got to be a thing, right?
Not really. We have had requests for Taylor Swift, and we did try to learn a few of them, but I'll tell you, they're so wordy. We haven't tackled one yet, so I'm sure we need to try again. But as of right now, no Taylor Swift.
Hey, you just need to shake it off. It's okay. No big deal there. There's a little pun. I'm starting to those NFL commentators. Well, Leah, one final comment. Guy and I were talking about this. An interesting fact about myself. I was actually a drummer in a band for a really long time. So I might have to hang out with you guys for a little bit Saturday night. So it just, again, on behalf of all the board and all the MoShape members that are coming, it's going to be a really cool experience. And we're really excited to have you guys down and just travel safe back home from Arkansas tonight. And we'll see you it seems like tomorrow, but here in a few days.
Yeah.
All right. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for having me on. And we'll look forward to seeing you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Of course.
Thank you, Leah.
Thank you.
All right.
Guy, man, that's awesome. It's going to be a great experience. And I love the fact that she talked about, anywhere from 50s to today's current hits. I think that's great for the audience because, we have people from all different age groups. I'm sure my next guest, I don't know if she knows who John Denver is because I'm not even sure she knows who REO Speedwagon or Journey is, but I'm going to go ahead and bring her on anyways. Guy, we'll bring you back on here shortly. Thank you for stopping by. I know you have more to say, and we'll bring you on here in just a moment. All right, so I just mentioned our next guest. It's kind of, we were taking some shots at ages there. Our next guest is our future professional president, Abigail Lingle from Northwest Missouri State. Abby, how are you doing tonight?
I am good. And Chris, I do know a little bit of Journey. Those other artists, I don't know. So my age, I'm a little out there.
Oh, you just got excited about the Taylor Swift comment. I know.
I was hoping. I mean, her songs are challenging, so I gotta give them that.
That's true. So, Abby, you've been a pivotal part in our convention planning on the future professional side. Going into this convention as the future professional president. You've done so many amazing things for our future professionals, but also at the national level. Guy mentioned earlier, Speak Out Days and all this stuff. You've been to multiple national conventions. First and foremost, what is the most exciting thing future professionals should be looking forward to with our upcoming convention?
So this upcoming convention, we have a couple new things coming, but the number one thing that I want all future professionals to get super excited for is this year we are hosting our own social night. There's going to be food, there's going to be games. We're going to get to really know one another because if you all know me, networking is like my biggest love in PE, is getting to know everyone. We're going to have like 2 different types of games. It's going to be a complete blast. We're going to have so much fun up in Campana on Friday night from 6 to 8. So that's my most favorite thing. I can't wait to see all the future professionals enjoying.
Yeah, awesome. And, I'm really excited because like you said, it gives you guys kind of a chance, and the plan you have for that social, it's interesting because we've talked over, the past couple months about you want Northwest students and UCM students and Truman students and Missouri State students and all the students to kind of link up and not necessarily stay in their groups and get to know people. You've always talked about networking. That's been one of your biggest things. So share with our future professionals why you think networking has been so beneficial to you.
For me personally, networking is what has gotten me so far in my career. And I'm just a senior in college. I am currently out student teaching and about to become a real world PE teacher, which can be scary. But because I've been networking since day one, I know some other students who are going through the same thing as me from all different colleges. We get to talk about the different experiences we're having. I also connected with my current CT that I am with. Through Shape America, through Shape Iowa, is who I am with, Chris Amundsen. But if I wasn't networking, I wouldn't have been able to go to so many different events, meet so many amazing people that have helped me in my journey get to where I am today and prepare myself for this amazing future I see myself having. So starting at just connecting with one another our age, we're all going to be teaching at the same time with each other. We're all going to be going through those same challenges that we have with our students. So being able to reach out to that PE teacher you've known for 2-3 years, that is just the next district over, or maybe just the next town over, that is going to be so important because it's not reaching out to a stranger. It's reaching out to a friend and you've known from a long time, maybe because you met them at MoShape. So that wise, I believe networking is such a big thing in our career and line of work.
Abby, I just love hearing you talk about your passion with PE, and you're so young, don't even know who REO Speedwagon is, and yet you've got that old smart soul there. I've got to put you on the spot here because that's what I do. You've been all over, right? You've been all over the country. You've done speak out days. You've done national conventions, state conventions. Let the audience know who has the best convention.
MoShape, duh. Not even thought about it.
That took you about 2 seconds too long to answer that question, Abigail.
I had to trick you up, I keep you on your toes. I visited state convention, so but MoShape outranks highly.
There you go. So, Abby, we appreciate you so much on the board. Obviously, as you move into the professional world and your term as MoShape future professional president comes to an end, and then Ethan, who couldn't join us tonight, will step into your role. Just one final thought, anything you want to say about what it was like for you. I know you've touched a lot about, getting to travel and network and all those things, but for those future professionals out there who maybe didn't want to nominate themselves this year or nominate a friend this year, maybe for future years, tell them some of the things of why they should become or try to become a future professional president.
I can't answer this question in one night. I could go on and on for hours on not even just becoming future professional elect, but getting involved in this sport. There's so many different committees, and our future professionals are going to get to learn more about those at our social night. We get to meet all the board members. But depending on where your passion lies in physical education, what part you kind of strive a little bit more towards, we probably have a committee on the board for everything. So just getting involved, because not only is it getting your foot in the door, it is building your resume a little bit. It's getting to see the real side of teaching, and you get to start helping to form that path that we're going to be teaching in the future. So getting hands-on now within a committee or in your state, or even if you want to go all the way up to the national level, because I know Shape America has committees for us young future professionals to be a part of. But getting your foot in the door and starting to pave that path that you want to see as a teacher, that starts now. You can't change the future, have this big dream and change it 10 years down the road. I mean, you can work on it, but if you want that dream to be an actuality, you need to start paving that path now. And that's called getting involved and getting your foot in the door and starting to travel and network and connect. So I just highly encourage everyone, find a place for you to be a part of. If that is at your college club, if that is at the state level in any committee, or at the national level, there's a space for everyone in this world who is extremely passionate about PE. We all want that growth, and we all want to be working together to create a phenomenal program for all our future students.
Wow. I know Guy can hear me backstage. That was Guy, you better watch out. She may take over the rest of your presidency here for this next week. Abby, from the bottom of my heart and the rest of the board, thank you so much for the past 2 years of service you've had. And for those that don't know, Abby is actually also on my committee with marketing communications. So she's not going anywhere. I'm not letting her. But Abby, thank you so much for joining the show. And as you're getting ready to get into your professional career, we're all here for you, and we appreciate you jumping on tonight.
Thank you so much. I love these 2 years on the board, and I'll probably be back to hold another position eventually.
There you go. Everybody, that was Abigail Lingle, our future professional president. She is just phenomenal. And speaking of which, Guy Danhoff, who is still part of the show, he's just backstage right now, got on YouTube and said, wow, Abby is crushing it. So I didn't even see that comment, Guy, until just now. And you are absolutely correct. Abby was absolutely crushing it. So I'm going to bring on our next guest, a very, very special guest. She is our current president-elect. So here in just about actually a week, she'll become our actual MoShape president as she leads her first board meeting in a week from today. It's the wonderful Miss Julie Lukinoff. Julie, how are you doing this evening?
I'm doing great, Chris. How are you? You kind of made me start to get nervous when when you said in a week. I was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
It's literally 7 days away until you're president. Julie, I am doing great because, you and I, we kind of have this separate friendship outside of MoShape. You're a big Blair Oaks Falcons fan, and your daughter is in her first year as the head coach of the varsity volleyball team there at Blair Oaks, and she just won a state title after coming back down from 2 sets, correct? 2 sets they were down.
That is correct. And actually, it's their third in a row that they have won the state champion. So yes, her senior class are just unbelievable people and athletes, and just a great community. I mean, it just really pulls everything together. It's just awesome. It's been a great ride to be Mom Lukinoff.
There you go. That's awesome. So now let's shift back to our MoShape business here, because we could talk all day about Blair Oaks and all that.
True.
Julie, Guy mentioned earlier the planning committee a little bit, and it's something that I feel like the executive committee, which features you, Guy, and Tom, have really, really focused on getting, a committee together that really wants to do some big things. I mean, we've already heard from Leah with the live band, and then Guy mentioned the 2 keynotes. Kind of explain to the audience what it was like working with that planning committee, and shout them out if you would like. And the floor is yours.
I can do it. Well, we have Christy, we have Janet, we have Michelle, we have Cindy, myself, and Guy. We're kind of on there because, but if you want anything accomplished, those ladies right there will get it accomplished. They're very detail oriented. Everybody has kind of taken their own little part of the convention. And I guess I can't forget Mary, because Mary's in there with us also. And they have done a great job. I am very excited. First off, I know Guy said that there were over 400 people that we have registered, but you know what? You can still register this week. We still have room for you. All you need to do is go to moshape.org, hey, and register. We would love to see you down at the Lake of the Ozarks at the Lodge of Four Seasons this coming weekend. We have awesome sessions. We have, as Guy said, several new presenters that are doing presentations. But so I kind of want to go through. Friday morning, we have 6 different pre-con sessions that you can choose from, going anywhere from a health session to an activity-based session. We have the CPR. We have a strength and conditioning and nutrition. We have a pre-con on active students, success-ready students with Dr. Sherry Beeler and Laura Beckman, our DESE consultant. As I said, the CPR and the AED. We have a dance program also that is going to be there. And so if you can come down and start Friday morning with us and do the pre-con, we would love to have you. And then, of course, Guy has told you that our first general session, we will be in Campana, and that is where we will have a box lunch for you. And Stephanie Moore is going to be a great speaker there for us. And then we will kind of lead into sessions. Friday evening, the future professionals have, as Abby was saying, the social and kind of a little game night for them to be able to just kind of mingle and network. And then later that evening, the whole MoShape convention membership is invited to a game night that will be back up in Campana. And it will be, I know 9 Square was a huge hit last year, but we had everything from spike ball to can jam, and we had I think about 7 or 8 different games going on at the same time. And so it was a great time. So that kind of ends up Friday. Then we start Saturday, and we have sessions all throughout the day, starting, I believe, at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, going all the way till almost 4:30. Then the award winners will have their pictures taken in Campana, and doors for the bank will open at 5 o'clock. And then we're going to have kind of a reception line for Tom. It is Tom's last year. He is going to retire, and as from his position as ED for our association. And so we're going to do a little reception line for him. And then, of course, you can kind of then move on to the red carpet and talk a little bit. That will be live. Then we will go through the banquet. We are very excited because it is going to be a sit down plated dinner. We are so excited. So I'm very, very excited about that. We will do our awards presentations, and we have we have actually many awards that we are giving away. You know, we have the Majors of the Year, we have the Teachers of the Year, we have the Young Professional. I mean, they just go on and on. So it is very, very exciting. After the banquet, then we will kind of give you a little time to maybe go change clothes if you would like to. But the game night will be in Campana again, on one end of Campana. And then on the front end is where our live music will be. I'm very excited about hearing all of those songs because I know all of those songs. So yes, but very excited about that. But I also on that, I apologize because I forgot, because at Saturday lunch, we have another general session speaker with Kim Ballard. She will be there, and we have a box lunch for you. So you are getting 2 box lunches and a banquet meal paid for within your registration money. So I think that's a great. I think it's a good value. I think it's a great value. Then we move into Sunday, and I do not want to forget, because we have 2 different sessions that are going to be going on that are being presented by Most Shaped Teachers of the Year. And so very, very exciting. And actually, Paulo is a national teacher of the year. So there will be 2 different sessions that will go before we kind of close up the 98th Mo-Shape convention. And the board will then have their end of the convention session, end of convention board meeting, and I guess get the ball rolling for next year. So yes, very, very exciting. And I'm going to tell you, as I said, those girls are they're top class. They have done great things, and they are on the ball. So looking very, very forward to seeing everybody down at the lake. And as I said, you can still register.
Yeah, Julie, that's thank you for the awesome breakdown.
You're welcome.
I'm kind of laughing on the inside because earlier when Guy mentioned to Leah about the music for Tom, she started naming these groups, and you were in the back, because I can see all the people in the back in the green room, and you're just sitting there like, that's my music. So then you're like looking at Guy like, really, Guy, really? Know your audience. But speaking of Guy, he's in the back room right now, but he's still hanging out on YouTube as well. He says Julie is the master convention planner, hashtag epic. And then he also said, so grateful for Janet, Cindy, and Michelle, rock stars convention planning committee.
And Christy.
And Christy's on there as well. Yes. I will say I was able to join you guys when we all met in Columbia.
Yes.
Yes. And the you ladies were just, Guy and I ran to go get food for the whole group, and we come back, and all of a sudden there's poster boards everywhere with sticky notes and this and that. It's like, no, this note needs to go here. And I'm just like, Guy, I think we need to just sit back and let them do it. So, I mean, and he's like, yeah, man, let's just eat our food and let the ladies work. So that's awesome. So.
It's been fun. It has been very fun. Yes, stressful at sometimes, but a lot of fun. So yes, looking forward, like I said, looking forward to seeing everyone, networking with people, and I know we have several first-time attendees, and we have some oldies who have been there for many years. I'm included on that list. So just looking forward to seeing everyone.
Yeah, for sure. And Julie, we're really excited. We're not going to talk about it tonight because we want to save that for another time after the convention, what your presidency is going to hold. But I know it's going to be awesome, and I'm really excited to work with you. Abigail Lingle says this will be one of the best conventions yet.
I agree.
I think every year Mo-Shape is amazing, and I agree this will be one of the best conventions yet. I was talking to somebody we put on Facebook about Guy shared the new convention backdrop, and I said I've been waiting for this convention since the last one ended. That's just how it is. When we leave Sunday, I'm like, I can't wait till the first weekend in November, like the second weekend in November, the next weekend.
Very true.
Here, so.
Yep. When I was teaching and the students knew, I'd always say, okay, now I'm going to be gone. Yeah, I'm going to be gone. And they're like, oh, Ms. McGuff, please make sure you bring something. I said, bring something back for you. I said, I always bring some activity back to, to teach you. And they were as excited for me to leave as I was. I mean, well, you know how I mean. But they knew I was bringing something great back. So.
Yeah, and Julie, final comment I want to mention. A lot of people may not realize this. Us board members, we talked, the Sunday after our board meeting or after the convention last year at our board meeting. One thing was that we made a change this year, and I think all the board is super excited for, is we actually moved our board meeting on Sunday to later in the day. That way we could all attend those Teacher of the Year sessions, because we've never got to really attend those. And so that is kudos to you guys for moving that, and I'm really excited to be able to see that.
Right. I think last year, I think it was actually moved so that we could, attend those sessions before we went into a board meeting. And I just think the support we need to support our presenters, just as they would support us. And so, yes, we want, and like I said, if you stay Saturday evening, you better get up Sunday morning. I know you might be tired and other things, but I know you will get some great ideas from those 2 sessions that you can take back also. So please do not do not miss those. So
Yeah, for sure. Julie, I'm really excited to see you. I'm going to
yes.
see you in 4 days. We'll meet. We'll have some lunch on Thursday. We'll get the ball rolling, and you travel safe and enjoy those that state championship ring your daughter's going to get, and we'll see you soon.
Will do. Hey, thanks, Chris. Thanks for having me on. I totally appreciate it. See ya.
See ya. So that was Julie Lukanoff, our president-elect, and like I said, 7 days away from her presidency. And we have another comment on YouTube from Dr. Brandy Lynch. So many fun things planned. Well, I have something really fun planned right now. Speaking of Dr. Brandy Lynch, I'm going to go ahead and bring Dr. Brandy Lynch onto the show. Brandy, how are you doing? And you're muted, sweetheart, so you're going to have to unmute yourself. Let me see if I could unmute you. There you go.
That? Okay.
There you go. Good start, Brandy. Good start.
Let's go.
So, Brandy, thank you for joining the show. First and foremost, this is the first time we're making this announcement. You are actually one of Mo Shape's president-elect candidates for this convention, and all of our members will find out at the awards banquet who our next president-elect will be as Guy moves into past president, Julie moves into president, and then the president-elect candidate will be named as the president-elect. Brandy, first and foremost, what made you want to run for president-elect?
Well, I have been a part of Mo Shape since 2017 when I showed up on the scene at University of Central Missouri. And I have just been mentored and guided by some of the best in the game. And so I spend my days as a teacher educator, pouring into future teachers at UCM. I serve on state and national committees, trying to advocate for our profession and quality PE. I get to travel all over the country as an open national trainer and share free curriculum and resources with in-service teachers. And so this is what I do. I pour into people in our profession, and I absolutely love doing it. You can't do this on your own. And so to have the family and the community that I found in Mo Shape, it seems like a natural progression to answer the call. I know we've had a ton of conversations this year moving into our convention. The theme this year is Our Time, Our Legacy. And so I thought, what better time to step up to the plate and do something a little bit more, something a little bit deeper for our profession. And so I'm excited about this potential opportunity, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, Dr. Lynch, you're getting some shout outs right now on YouTube, and you know you're special when a Northwest student shouts you out, because we know it's all about the mules here in Central Missouri, but that's okay, Abby. Just to let you know, the UCM Mules football team just clinched a conference title yesterday, so that's pretty big. Shout out to you, Dr. Lynch, from Abigail. Then we got our president, Guy Danhoff. Congratulations, Brandy, on your nomination as our next Mo Shape president-elect candidate. That is a great shout out from him. And also your potential president that you would be learning from if you were to be named the president-elect, Julie Lukanoff, says, "Let's go, Brandy," double exclamation points. So, Brandy, your career, you and I have talked a lot. We spent a lot of times in New Orleans together, different, coming from a different state. And tell the audience, for those, especially since we do have some new people coming, we have a lot of out-of-town guests coming. what makes MoShape's convention so special, and what are you excited for?
So I've been to several state conventions in my time in PE and in higher ed, and MoShape's definitely has that feel to it. I actually had a colleague from Colorado like jump over and come to MoShape. She went to Shape Colorado too. Y'all don't get crazy, but made it a point to come out because she just heard about all of the great things we're doing. When you come to MoShape, you get that national feel. Like we have our CEO coming, we have our a former president coming, and so it's not just MoShape people, but you get to interact with and network with people that come from a national stage. And we have such amazing things going on here. I would say that we are one of the flagship states. If other states are looking to see like, hey, what are people doing? What's successful? We are always in that conversation. And so not only do we have amazing presenters that come from our state, but there's space and there is encouragement for people to share. We have a huge initiative that's being led by Abby this year to have more future professionals lead sessions. And so I actually have a junior group that's leading a session about science and curriculum with myself and Dr. Strohmeyer. So we're going to lead that with the juniors. And then my seniors came up with literally every aspect from the title to the description to the activities that we're going to present on instant activities on Saturday also. So there is space for people who aren't even in the profession yet, who say, I don't know, like, what do I have to contribute? I'm not even out there yet. And I'm like, no, you do. You know what good pedagogy looks like. You understand what creativity looks like. And everybody has something to offer here. And there's a sense of belonging in our community of like members across our state. There are so many different things that we're doing, not just within MoShape, but with our stakeholders, with our partnerships with Missouri Healthy Schools, and the interactions we have with DESE to stay on the same page, that we're doing amazing things here. And everybody walks away with their cups filled. Like, you don't walk away from MoShape without being just like on fire, like ready to go. Not only do you have something that you're going to tie into a class, I know that y'all have your units and your assessments and everything ready, for Monday morning, but you're going to tie something else in that you learned at convention. And then you're going to get on social media, you're going to text those friends that you made. And that helps keep us fired up throughout the year. So we only meet right now, right, once a year at convention, but it is enough to sustain us through those interactions that we have the rest of the year. And when I don't see people for a whole year and I only see them at convention, it's like we just pick up right where we left off. So these are lifelong friendships and interactions that I'm not only looking for myself personally and selfishly to find other people to connect with, but I'm always having an eye out for who might be a good cooperating teacher, who might be a good connection for our university partnerships as well. And so not only do we pour into physical education, but I do a ton of work right now in recruiting to the profession. And so I think that there are so many great things, and I've never heard anybody say, it wasn't worth it. Yeah, probably don't want to go back to Lake of the Ozarks, right? Like, no one says that.
That's awesome. Brady, I'm going to make sure next year when we work on the hype video for Julie's convention that you're going to actually be the one talking, not me. You're a better face to look at too. So I think the audience would rather see you do those than me. So
I won't
Brady,
wear a hat next time.
Brady, it's been a pleasure to work with you on the board. For those that don't know, you're also a board member with us currently at MoShape, and as you look into your potential to possibly be our president-elect candidate, good luck to you in that voting process, and I'm excited to see you here in just a few days.
Yeah, I am too. Y'all be safe and get ready. Like you said, it's gonna be lit.
Thank you so much, Brady. Everybody, that was Dr. Brandy Lynch at one of our president-elect candidates for the upcoming 2024 year. We've got a couple more shout outs on YouTube before we wrap up the show. Abigail Lingle, our future professional president, said, so proud of all our future professionals for stepping out of their comfort zone. That is very true. All you future professionals, we were all there at one point in our lives. there's your comfort zone should be us. We are there for you, to provide for you, whether it's a board member or a retired teacher, a current teacher, or even a first or second year teacher. You can learn so much from so many different people. So please make sure when you come to the conference, network and get with those people, because it's very rewarding. And Guy Danhoff says, I love the family atmosphere at most shape conventions. Time out, Guy. Instead of commenting, let's just bring you right back to the show, because that makes more logical sense. So coming back onto the show is our current president, Guy Danhoff. Guy, we are wrapping up the show now. A couple things I want to talk to you about before we get off here. One thing that you have been very pivotal in over the past few years has been our sponsorship program with MoShape. With the Fit and Fun Playscapes and all these so great brands that work with the MoShape brand to provide so much for our members. Go ahead and speak to our members about what the sponsorships look like this year.
Well, our sponsorships this year, we'll have about between exhibitors and sponsors, we'll have somewhere in the neighborhood about 24. And why that's important is, again, they just go to support what we're trying to do. In other words, our values align, certainly our mission aligns, and we're so grateful for this year's group of sponsors. And I do want to give a few shout outs. I mean, I want to just give a huge shout out to Pam and Gary and that whole team there at Fit and Fun Playscapes. You're going to see this gigantic media backdrop that they made. It's our official convention backdrop that will be on the main stage. So excited. They came up with the idea. They made it for us. That's going to be really incredible. Also want to give shout outs to some of the other sponsors like Tag Time. That's Tim Taggart, as he's actually been giving away some sets of his to some of our teachers. Also, again, Sandy and Joe, what they do with Heart Zones. I know they're providing some equipment for some of the sessions, I believe, with Danielle O'Neill on a couple of her sessions. Also want to give a huge shout out to Brian DeVore as the MoShape Teacher of the Year program, and the way that they work with us on that. I know there's probably 22 or 23 other states they work with, but they've really done, Chris, a huge job with us. And we're so excited to unveil that at this year's convention. And then, last but not least, I also just want to say thank you to the exhibitors and how much they mean to us. And one of the things we are doing this year that's different, stay tuned this week. I'll have to check it all out on Sketch. Chris, we are going to have a sponsor showcase. So during Saturday morning from 8 till 9 during the coffee talks, we borrowed this idea from last year at Shape Seattle. And while the coffee talks are going on, there was a sponsor showcase. So our sponsors will be given 10 to 12 minutes to get up on stage and do their thing, when there's really, outside of the coffee talks, there's nothing else going on. So we're really excited, again, about doing something so new and innovative. So I just want to say thank you to you exhibitors and sponsors, because you really support what we do. We could not do what we do without you.
Yeah, guys. So as we're wrapping up here, 4 days from now, we'll be together. A lot of us will be together. It's crazy how quickly, 362 days flies by if you take the 3 days from the convention. You've worked super hard as our president this year. Just one final thing, and this may be hard for you to answer, and you may go back on another broadcast and say, wait, what about this? If you could pick one of, not the top, but one of your proudest moments as our president at MoShape for the 2023 year, what would it be?
I'd have to say, Chris, the being given the opportunity to represent us with Doc Lowry when we got invited to be speakers at the Shape America Leadership Summit. And we also got to do that this past year, as it was in our backyard in Kansas, right in your backyard, actually, in Kansas City, with the SAM Leadership Conference. So for Tom and I and a few of us to be part of that was very special. And the reason why I say that is that's where we're together with all the other president-elects, the executive directors. We are together like for, a couple of days, and we get a chance to talk about a lot of real issues. And it really is just one big exchange. So as much as sometimes I know people might look to Tom and I for certain things and aspects, we also benefit greatly from learning some things from other states as well. So I would actually say that that's pretty big. And the reason why I say it is because we're kind of changing the culture of what we're doing, especially, in the area of media and communications, and how important that is than ever before. So, and that's just one aspect. And the only other thing I really want to give a shout out to, and I want to, piggyback off of what Dr. Lynch said. And it is true, like our partnership with Missouri Healthy Schools this past year was so pivotal because we've received some scholarship dollars for roughly 22 school districts here in Missouri. And that was applied to either supporting Health Moves Minds, led by Christy Berry, and certainly with Kyle Salvo and that whole team. And then also with Sherry Beeler on the CSPAP. And you're going to see some showcases and some presentations and sessions there. We'll also be joined by Laura Beckman as well for that. I mean, Laura's our main liaison with Missouri Healthy Schools to what we do here at MoShape. So, Chris, I need to really say that as well, because it really has kind of changed our trajectory. It's also given our teachers a lot of opportunities to get more involved. So to be able to give away, I think it was close to $60,000 this past year to schools and teachers. I don't know, Chris, it's just, I would just say that'd be part of my legacy, I guess, as our leader. Those two things kind of are very humbling, and I'm just very grateful that we were able to do that.
Awesome, guy. Well, I'm very excited. I go to school for these next few days, and then on our way to the lake. Obviously, it looks a little different for me this year, as Friday I'll have to leave a little early and come back, as I have a big football district championship game to coach. But I'm really excited to see everybody. And like Brandy said, Abby said, you've said, Julie said, I've said, if you're watching this or you're seeing the replay and you haven't gotten a chance to meet any of us, please come up and introduce yourselves. We would love to get to know you. That's Abigail Langle's a perfect example of that. Mm-hmm. She was a young college student, and just came up and introduced herself, and she's been fierce ever since, and she's going to do great things. That's kind of how I got my career started. I won a Major of the Year award, and I was still kind of shy coming out of college. And then I just said, hey, let me just sign up for this marketing communications committee. You and I met, and we've been rolling ever since. So, Guy, I'm going to bring Dr. Lynch and Abigail on one last time as we sign off here. Just so everybody could see their wonderful faces, so they're not just staring at our mugs this whole time. Abigail, our MoShape future professional president, Dr. Lynch, one of our president-elect candidates for the 2024 year, and Guy Danhoff, our MoShape president. I am Chris Stehle, the chair of marketing communications with MoShape. Thank you all so much for joining, and thank you to all of our audience for watching. We are super excited to see you guys. And before I brought her on, hold on. Pivot. Abigail Lingle said, true story. I was so scared to talk to any of the board members. Yeah, now they're like family. That's so funny. It's a funny story, Guy, real quick before we get off. I had some future professionals come up to me from Missouri State last year, and they were just like, oh my gosh, you're Chris Stehle. You're the one that hosts all the shows. I'm like, listen, I'm a teacher. I'm a dad. I'm a coach. I have all these hats, but at the end of the day, I'm here to help you guys. And so Abby's right. A lot of people are nervous to talk to us, but hey, I'll say the three people that are on the screen with me right now are great people to talk to. If you want to talk to me, that's great. But I'm talking on behalf of Dr. Lynch, Abby, and Guy. Those three are rock stars, and everybody at MoShape's a rock star. I tell you what, if you're watching this, and if you're at the convention or you're not able to make it, but you're still tuning in to all of our resources and stuff we provide, you're a rock star as well. That just shows if you're on board with MoShape, whether you're there in person or you can't be there because of some situations or circumstances, you're still a rock star. We have the best profession in the world. I truly believe that. And I'm excited to see everybody here in about 4 or 5 days. Guy, Dr. Lynch, Abby, I'll actually see you guys before the convention at the board meeting. So on behalf of myself and all of our guests, thank you everybody for joining, and have a wonderful night. See you soon.